So Marvel's Thunderbolts movie is going to be released on May 1st. In this movie, not only will we see Sentry and Void, two of the most powerful characters in the MCU, for the first time, but we'll also see the return of 7 old and very important characters like Bucky, Black Widow, US Agent, and Taskmaster. Now, all these characters have their own unique backstories, different journeys that are somehow connected. And in this movie, they're going to be connected on an even bigger level. Apart from that, there are many events in the MCU that directly tie into this movie. So, if someone doesn't know the backstory of these characters, they may not understand the Thunderbolts movie at all. And even if they do watch it, they won't be able to enjoy it as much. That's why, in today's video, I'm going to explain all these characters in detail so that you can enjoy Thunderbolts to its full potential. So sit back and enjoy the video. We'll talk about a total of 7 characters in this video. First, Bucky, aka the Winter Soldier. Then John Walker, aka US Agent. Next are Valentina, Black Widow, Red Guardian, Taskmaster, and Ghost. Let's start with our OG and fan-favorite character, Bucky. Back in 1945, Bucky was Captain America's childhood best friend. They completed many missions together. But during one such mission, Bucky falls off a train and is presumed dead. However, the truth is, he was rescued by the evil organization Hydra. They turned him into a super soldier like Captain America, gave him a mechanical arm, and completely brainwashed him. This new, evil version of innocent Bucky became known as the Winter Soldier. Many years later, Captain America meets the Winter Soldier again. The Winter Soldier tries his best to kill him, but when Steve realizes it's Bucky, he saves him from Hydra's control. But that wasn't the end of it. Bucky could still be controlled using a set of specific trigger words, and that weakness was exploited again. Captain America, with his strong connections in Wakanda, sends Bucky there for treatment. The Wakandans help him recover from the brainwashing and give him a new arm made of vibranium. After that, Bucky fights alongside the Avengers against Thanos, but falls victim to the snap and turns to dust for 5 years. When he returns, all the Avengers work together to defeat Thanos, but Bucky faces another emotional blow. His best friend, Captain America, travels back in time, lives his life with Peggy, and returns as an old man. Steve hands over his shield, his legacy, and his responsibilities to Sam Wilson, officially passing the mantle of Captain America. Part 2. Over time, Bucky and Sam grow closer. They work together. But Sam gives the shield to the government, which deeply upsets Bucky because it was the last memory of his best friend. The government, however, appoints John Walker, a skilled soldier, as the new Captain America. Even though he's a good soldier, he isn't truly worthy of the title. Eventually, John Walker is tricked into taking the super soldier serum. The serum enhances what's already inside a person. If you're good, you become greater. If you're bad, that darkness becomes stronger. In John's case, it enhances his arrogance and aggression. He ends up killing an innocent person, and as a result, the government strips him of his position. Despite his flaws, John isn't entirely evil. He still wants to do the right thing, but his pride gets in the way. Later, Sam finally accepts the shield and becomes the new Captain America, which makes Bucky truly happy. Now, let's talk about Valentina. You can think of her as a female and darker version of Nick Fury. She seeks out talented but troubled individuals, those rejected by society, and recruits them for her own team. Yes, the Thunderbolts. But unlike Fury, Valentina doesn't care much for social service. Her motives are personal gain. If some good happens in the process, that's fine. But she's always looking out for her own benefit. She recruits John Walker, gives him a new costume and shield, and slowly begins forming the Thunderbolts team. Her full intentions remain unclear. You'll see more of that in the movie. So far, we've talked about the Winter Soldier, John Walker, and Valentina. Now, let's move on to the rest of the characters. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, take 2 seconds to hit the like button. You might forget later. Now, Natasha Romanoff, aka the OG Black Widow, has an adoptive sister, Yelena Belova, and an adoptive father, Red Guardian. Red Guardian is a Russian super soldier, but unlike Captain America, he never received much recognition, so he takes pride in boasting about himself. During a mission where he had to live undercover like a family man, he adopts 2 girls, Natasha and Yelena. But as soon as the mission ends, he hands them over to a man named Dreykov, who collects orphan girls and trains them in the Red Room to become deadly assassins. These girls are completely brainwashed. Eventually, Hawkeye rescues Natasha. They become good friends, and she starts working for the good guys. During a mission, Natasha blows up Dreykov's daughter. Later, Yelena breaks free from Dreykov's control, and the two sisters team up to destroy the Red Room and free all the girls. But it wasn't easy, because Dreykov had Taskmaster, a fighter who could copy anyone's fighting style. Later, it's revealed that Taskmaster is actually Dreykov's daughter, who survived the explosion and was turned into a killing machine by her father. Natasha and Yelena managed to save her too, removing her brainwashing. Later, Natasha sacrifices herself for the Soul Stone so that the Avengers can defeat Thanos. After Natasha's death, Valentina once again shows up, this time manipulating Yelena by blaming Hawkeye for her sister's death. Yelena sets out to kill him, but the misunderstanding is eventually resolved. We've now talked about Red Guardian, Taskmaster, and Yelena, along with Bucky and others. Now, only Ghost is left. When Ghost was a child, her father was conducting a quantum experiment. It failed, and everyone died, except her. But the accident destabilized her molecules, causing her to phase in and out of solid form. She could pass through objects, disappear, and reappear, but it caused her immense pain. S.H.I.E.L.D. found her and trained her to become an agent. She did their dirty work, but eventually left. Still suffering from her condition, she targeted Ant-Man's team hoping for a cure, since they were quantum experts. Though initially hostile, they eventually helped her and stabilized her condition. Her powers didn't go away, but her suffering did. Now she'll return in Thunderbolts. All these characters are broken, frustrated, and outcast by society, and Valentina is trying to gather them for her own hidden agenda. This was a complete recap from my side. Now that you know all the important backstories, you'll be able to enjoy Thunderbolts to the fullest. See you in the review and breakdown of Thunderbolts. Until then, bye.